All right, let's get started. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Hang, episode 33, I believe. I'm not really counting, but I just, you know, if you are, episode 33, welcome once again. If this is your first time, welcome to the Hang. This is what we do. We hang out, and you learn a little about whatever we're talking about. I always learn something new every day, and if you're not doing that, then you're welcome to the right place to do that. Let's get to the episode right away. As you guys have seen lately, I've split it up into three. I have a little halftime in between, so I think I'm gonna do that from now on. Um, Once again, I sound really low, but the audio comes out really good, so I'm just not gonna um, do anything. Speaking of audio, I'm sorry, you guys are gonna notice. I apologize in advance. Um, if you're watching, there's a lot of times where like maybe the video doesn't there's no video for like a couple seconds or a minute or two. And with the audio, it kind of cuts out towards the end of the episode because like I said, I'm still trying to get the hang of logic and what it does and what it doesn't. And until I could get somebody permanently to come in here to be a audio assistant engineer, whatever you call them, a producer, or, whatever. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna have to gonna have to do a bunch of shit by myself for now. But until that day comes, if you're interested, by the way, just hit me up. Uh, if you want to be the intern, whatever position you want to give yourself. I'm not into, I don't like labels. I don't like putting labels on people. So whatever you want to do, however you want to contribute, come contribute. Please and thank you. Um, I'm just gonna get straight to it because once again, I don't want to waste time here just talking to myself or to you guys by myself. Let's just do some real quick shout outs. Um, you know, I'm just trying to think who's gonna go first. I'm just gonna do Crafts by Lissa first because you know, like she's kind of the most relevant at the moment because I just got a new do you want to call it shipments? I don't know. Of t-shirts. T-shirts. If you guys haven't seen the t-shirts that we got for the hang, go check out the website. Remember, davidvmusic.com has everything that I talk about, including the merch, the music, the podcast itself. It's all there. And if you don't feel like dealing with me, you don't want to go to d.maj0r, which is my Instagram, my personal Instagram, or the hang_podcast, and DM me for a t-shirt or whatever. You go straight to Crafts by Lissa and just get it yourself. Bypass me, get it straight from the source. Crafts_by Lissa, Lyssa on Instagram. And then get your own customized stuff too. She does about everything. She's done gifts for me that I've given to other people. She's done stuff that I got for myself, and she's done stuff for the podcast. So definitely high quality. Definitely it's not just about the quality of the product itself, but it's the quality of the, I guess, service that you get from Crafts by Lissa. I can't really say enough. Um, it's like A plus. I don't know what else you want to call it. Better Business Bureau A plus. Whatever other labels people like to get for awards and shit. Give it to Crafts by Lissa. Remember, on Instagram and Facebook, TikTok, but I'm not really on the TikTok yet, so I don't know. What how to find her on TikTok, but I'm pretty sure it's something having to do with crafts_by Lissa Lyssa. So definitely go check her out. And I'll shout one more thing out. Let's do before we head into the episode. Let's do hook kickboxing really quick. If you want to get your summer body ready, which to me that's not a thing. You just got to do it all the time. Fuck just looking good for the summer. Get your shit ready for all the time. Winter, spring, autumn. It's funny. It's funny. I was getting my guest Chris, like, his links ready for to tell it to you guys. Just saw one of his older posts. He called the fall autumn, but it's probably like an insider. I'm gonna move past it. If you get it and if you like it, laugh along with me, and if you don't, then whatever, just forget about it. But going back to kickboxing, 2 locations, one in Glendale at Atlas Park Mall, and the other one in Fresh Meadows on Union Turnpike and 185th. So go check them out. Go to I'mSoHooked.com to get your first class for free. Go try it out. Hit them up to do so. There's something else. I forgot. I forgot, to be honest. Go check out the schedule and let them know that David V sent you, that you heard about kickboxing from the podcast. Maybe in Glendale, like I said, they don't know me that well because I don't think I've ever been there. But if you go to Fresh Meadows, I'm there all the time. And yeah, speaking of, somebody that I got a joke from that might or might not be funny to you. But Chris Paul Morales is our guest once again today. He is he's an actor. I've actually worked on music with him before as well. And now he's currently trying to put out a movie. If you guys haven't heard about me talking, haven't heard me talking about it. It's gonna be well, you're gonna hear what you're gonna hear. I'm not gonna talk about it right now because that's what the episode is about. But if you're interested, go to Fuggboi Dave on Instagram. It's all one word, FUGGBOIDAVE, to learn more about how you could contribute and be part of the making of this film, of this indie film, which, it's a big deal because, nobody just jumps straight to Disney, Those guys that all work for, the Marvel series, they all had to start out indie films, the theaters, and that good stuff. That stuff that makes you get good, so that you could go ahead and request millions of dollars from Disney. But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna have a halftime, and I'll check in with you at that point in this podcast episode. So enjoy the conversation.
Have you ever felt the pain you feel when someone that's just like you is living the life you want to live, but for you it's just too late? Have you ever felt like you won a race, but in the end you came out last? Well, that's how I feel every day. Have you ever felt so alone, but no one came to save you? What you thought was bad, but no one saw how sad you were when you sat all alone. Well, that's how I feel every day. Every day I feel there's someone better. Every noon I'm told that I'm wrong. Every day I feel there's someone stronger. Every night I sing the same song. Have you ever felt like you should try your best? Do you ever feel outcasted from the rest? I always think that I could do better. I like to pretend I'm not alone. Do you ever feel that stronger. Every night I sing the same song.
Like, because, you know, they're all like, oh, they're gonna be in it, then they're all like, Tom Holland was like, they're not gonna be in it, but it's obvious that he would have to do some shit like that because, so he doesn't spoil anything. But now they're all like, oh, Twitter's hinting that they're gonna be in it, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense, but I'm gonna read it anyway. Like,
Have you been up to date with the WandaVision stuff?
oh hell yeah! Oh my god, is it Friday? That's tomorrow.
Right, yeah, that's what I was
Like, yeah.
I've been saying that same exact thing. You're like, is it there yet?
Yeah. Gosh, that shit is so good.
Yeah. They have good writers, man. What can you say?
Yeah, and fucking Feige really pays attention. Like, he knows all the comic books.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's actual like fandom.
You know, yeah, there's people out there that I think if they weren't Feige, they would just be like, yeah, I love Spider-Man, and they just like, put something.
Yeah.
But Feige, I feel like, has read everything because he knows all the storylines and shit.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They're pretty spot on too. And by the way, if you just started listening, we are talking about WandaVision.
Oh, are we on?
Yeah. But yeah, it's like, and I like how they brought back, like, obviously they're not gonna have like the super like revealing outfit all the time for Wanda. You know what I'm talking about?
Revealing. I think I know which one.
The one that is the actual original outfit of hers.
Yes, then yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
They teased it.
yeah, there you go. It's good. And I think it's I mean, I don't know, I haven't looked this up, but they probably put it in the right episode as far as like time wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this next one's supposed to be the last one, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I guess I mean, at first, I don't know what you thought. Give me your opinion about because what I thought at first, I'm like, I don't want to watch this, like a fake sitcom.
Oh, the first time? Yeah. Okay. I was kind of annoyed with people because I knew that Marvel was too smart to just make like a fake sitcom. I was like, I know they don't make any content that's just like BS.
Yeah.
That's like whatever. I mean, okay, I didn't watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I just couldn't do it. But like, that's not the point. Like, what I'm trying to say is when they came out with this, I knew it was going to tie into the MCU. Like, my cousin literally was like, oh, this is terrible. It's like a filler thing and it's a filler show. I'm like, dude. Yeah. No, they're too smart for that. Like, I'm like, you know, she's either trapped in this sitcom or whatever. And I literally said that before the first episode. And like, and then as I was watching, I was like, that's exactly what it is. Like, you know, it's not dumb. It's really, really good. It's kind of funny because if you watch the first one and you're not too into it, like, you are going to think that's what it is. But they start revealing little things. Like, there's little S.H.I.E.L.D. stuff that pops up every now and then. So I knew it was going to eventually open up into the timeline, which it is, and it has not disappointed.
Right, yeah. In case you haven't watched it, sorry. Spoiler alert. Fast forward like 5 minutes. I already gave away.
We'll be on this the whole time, actually. No?
I kind of gave away the, like episode 7.
Whatever. Look, I mean, if you don't like Marvel, you probably won't give a shit, and it's not important, so fine, whatever. But, you know, if you like Marvel, it's essential.
Yeah. I mean, if you like Marvel, you probably already know what we're talking about.
Yeah,
anyways.
you're fine.
So, but yeah, I like how they, even the commercials, they seem legit. And they were actually about.
Dude, did you see my status on Facebook last week?
Yeah, I think
2 weeks ago. I literally thought it was a commercial, and I started like ignoring it. It was so bad.
You're like trying to like just go.
I was like, oh, it's a commercial, and I like stopped paying attention, and I was like, wait, there's no commercials on this. Like, you know, it's so bad.
Right? Yeah. You forget you're watching Disney Plus.
Yeah.
There's a reason why you pay. Even though, I mean, I don't want to get into this, but why do we pay? For cable if there's still
well, that's the big thing. I think, you know, it's funny though because you got cable before because you were paying for different networks, and then they were like, oh, you can get it all on this one thing. I know that as soon as everyone's done making their own streaming sites, they're eventually going to be like, oh, you can just buy this one streaming package. It's going to happen in like 5 years or something, because it's the same thing. They did it with cable, and streaming is happening, and literally every network is coming out with their own streaming thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So that is what it is. Eventually we're just going to be buying like a big streaming thing at $59.99 a month. And we're going to do it. Like, you know,
starting out slow. I think like Hulu is kind of those guys, or maybe YouTube, that are offering like real live TV. Even though they're, you know,
obviously that's not like what they were made for.
YouTube TV is pretty cool. I do have YouTube
Yeah,
TV. I do
so
have it.
there you go.
But it's
Start.
easy because like it's bundled with like a friend, so we just have it together.
Oh, that's cool.
And yeah, whatever. This is not a commercial, but that's
No,
that's
you
what
get
it is. Like we have it.
and you get like the YouTube. What do they call it? Red or some shit?
So it's not called YouTube Red anymore. I think
Oh,
it's
okay.
YouTube Premium.
Ah, okay.
I think it's called YouTube Premium. I don't know what it's called. I just have it. Like
That's interesting. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, by the way, if you guys haven't seen this guy before, maybe he should introduce himself, right? Just reintroduce himself. For
Yeah.
those who are new to the podcast.
Cool. Yeah, my name is Chris Paul Morales. I'm an actor producer based in New York. And yeah, that's my introduction.
Nice. Yeah. So he was here before. If you haven't seen him, go watch the other episode, which was like last summer, I think.
Yeah.
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 So it's been a while. You know, he's been doing things here and there.
What episode number was that? Do we know?
Oh no, I really don't, to be honest.
I
Like,
actually don't. Can I look it up?
Yeah, yeah.
gonna
Oh man, I forgot. That's why I got that keyboard, so we could actually watch.
Oh,
look
so you can
things
actually
up.
do that?
Yeah, but I'm sorry. Once again,
That's
I'm
fine.
underprepared.
You learn. It's a learning experience.
Yeah, yeah. As you can see, last time we talked about how like bare this room is, but now I tried to do a little something as far as sound acoustics go, and you know it's still not like anechoic chamber, but it's something. It definitely makes a difference if you're into if you're an audiophile like me who just hears a little of shit. I know. As long as you hear us, you guys are fine. But me, I'm like, you hear that humming? You hear it? Actually,
Do you hear the humming?
in the song we recorded together, the major in quantum physics.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember when we recorded the vocals. I'm like, do you hear that? It's distorted.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
vocals are distorted, and you're like, I think it's fine. I'm like,
It's
but they're distorted, man. Like
That's what you're there for.
Yeah.
That's what you're there for, is to tell me those things. Oh my
Alright.
gosh, it's so true. I was just like, I don't know, it sounds great.
But yeah,
So
it
bad.
ended up.
I feel so terrible for
No,
that.
it's cool because it ended up sounding really good. So
Yeah.
in a way, good thing you were there to just be like, don't worry.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. I have to do a real quick change because I have to keep up with the time.
Yeah.
There you go.
You know what? I couldn't find it because I just realized you changed the logo.
Oh yeah, I did.
That's cool. I was like, oh my god, did I unsubscribe? I'm terrible.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh no! I did change the logo. By the way, anybody out there, and if you know any people that are interested in, I guess graphic designing a logo, definitely hit us up. Actually, I had somebody already did hit me up on Instagram. I have to get back to them. But
nice. I'm on episode 16, by the way.
oh, so
Figured it
kind
out.
of it kind of doubled that. Because now it's 32.
Actually,
32.
33. I think you have a 32
Oh, that's right.
posted.
That's right.
So almost double. I should just come back every 16 episodes.
Right. Exactly. But if we time it right, you could come back when you have the short film already made.
Yeah.
Yeah. So by the way, if you guys haven't heard me talk, if you don't hear my like before and after banter, I've been talking about Fuggboi Dave. But in case you guys kind of skip through all that shit, you want to tell them a little more about what that is?
Yeah, absolutely. So Fuggboi Dave is a new series that I'm producing, where we're taking a Filipino man and taking him from simp to pimp. That's the new that's the
Nice.
new line on that I came up with. But that's basically the
Simp to
story.
pimp.
Yeah, it's going well. It's really cool. I'm learning a lot as a producer. A lot of big things. This is my fourth production, but my first. It's technically my second pilot, but it's the first pilot that I created.
Oh, okay.
Because the last one I did, my friend created it, but this is the first one that I created. So there's a lot more stakes in it for me
Nice.
than there was before. But it's good. This is like the biggest. This is kind of like the biggest production that I've done now, and it's very exciting. Yeah.
Nice, but oh my gosh, that burp kind of just cleared the brain right there for some reason because I had a question in the burp.
And it's gone. It's done.
Yeah, it is what it is. That question will come back, but I do have another question.
Yeah.
Why Dave?
Why? I don't know. I wasn't thinking of you or anything. I was thinking of a name. I mean, the story is based on my life. The character is very
Okay.
based on my life, and inspired by true life events. So I was thinking of a name that was, as common as Chris.
Right.
I mean,
Okay.
it could have been Fuggboi Chris for all whatever, but I didn't want to be one of those shows that just used your own name. Like, you know
Right,
what I
yeah,
mean?
kinda
So
blatantly
I was just
about
kind of
you.
like, what's another name that a Filipino American guy could have? And I was like, David. It's pretty common.
Yeah, it's funny because my first teacher here in America. By the way, I came back when I was in second grade. Her name was Miss David, and she was Filipino.
Yeah.
So
See, there
it's
you go.
very very common.
But it's no insult to anyone named Dave. Honestly, like, hey, it's a character that's based on me. So like
Okay,
this is not anyone that I meant to be like, hey, this guy's a shitty guy. Like, it's not meant to be that way at all.
So yeah, not to.
I
mean,
think it's a compliment.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if we go see the whole thing, we'll see that it's not necessarily a bad thing because
It's not. No. I mean, really, it's not, it's not a series that's just idolizing fuckboys. It's just kind of going into the mentality of it for me of like, how they come about. And I'm not representing everyone. I'm sure everyone has their own reasons, but for me anyway, like a big reason of why the show was made was because, I went through that experience of where I thought I was like in love or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe I was. I don't know. That's still up for debate. But, it was a bad relationship for me. It was a toxic relationship, but I learned a lot in it. But there was a lot that I needed to separate myself from. And, coming out of it, I didn't really know how to deal with anything. And, I lost confidence, I lost identity, and I was just like, I feel like I'm losing masculinity, whatever. So, I started reading a lot of like self-help things, and they were just like, well, if you want to be a confident guy, you have to do what confident guys do. So to me, at this time in my life, which I really do feel like was a low, I think I had hit a low at that time. And, the guys that I looked up to didn't give a shit, right? Like they
Yeah.
went out, they could, call up a girl, and all these girls were attracted to them because they were just confident. They just were. So that's what so to me, not like they're shining examples. Being a fuckboy is obviously problematic behavior, but like,
Rather toxic, right?
but that's like, I was like, yeah, that's who I have to be. Like,
that's
I was
interesting,
like,
yeah.
look at those guys. They don't worry about anything. They don't have any problems. Like, and they have all these girls with no issues. So this was a time away. And I feel bad because it was a different time in my life. But that's the I don't know. That's the time that I want to talk about.
I think that's really good. Sorry. There you go. I think that's really good because I feel like just a lot of people, even if they don't want to admit it, are going to relate to that.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
I feel like everybody, I'm pretty sure even those guys that you said that, you kind of looked at and saw that they were kind of like, it was easy for them to get girls easy.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure at one point they were also like in the simping life thinking they were in love and all that. And it's like, maybe that's what ended up, making the change within them. I feel like that happens to everybody in a way. I mean,
I
not
think
everybody's
so.
going to admit it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? I think for people like me, and what I've been finding as I am creating this, and a lot of people are hearing about it, and they're hearing about this story that I want to tell. A lot of people are relating and connecting because they had been in that situation, and they know exactly what I'm talking about, which was kind of surprising to me because I wasn't really sure how people were going to relate to this. But I've been finding a lot of people connecting, and a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, like I understand this story. A lot of people want to like sit down and talk to me about their story of when they went through this, which is great. Like I am trying to like talk to a lot of people and get their perspective on it. Because again, like this whole series is only going to be from my perspective, really.
Okay.
Like I can't speak for everybody that has done this. But I think there's two, right? I think there's one end of people that like, it comes from a place of hurt, and there's the whole like hurt people kind of
Right.
thing. But there's that. I think I think the other end of it, I don't know, maybe they're just like that. But, I think, personal opinion, I think it stems from some kind of underlying issue. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I'm not trying to speak for people, but it's like, that's what I think it is. I think no matter what, if you're doing something like that, it does come from some kind of issue. But whatever, I'm just attacking it from what I know and from what I've experienced.
Yeah, it only makes sense that if you're writing it, then it'd be hard for you to tell it from the like the females, I guess, aspect,
Mm-hmm. Well, which is what's great, because that's the other thing, is I didn't want this show to become like, it's like another male driven blah blah blah. But I have, and I didn't do this on purpose, but almost every person on my team is a female, which is great. It's not like I didn't set out like, I have to find females to do this. It just kind of happened that way. And from the writer that I teamed up with, Naftali Vader, she's in the Netherlands, and I teamed up with her. And, even presenting this idea to females, I didn't know like what they would think or anything. But, she loved the idea. She really got attached to the property, and then, loved it and just started writing. And Naftali is such a great writer that I'm able to give her experiences and like the story that I want to tell, cool. And she could put it into like a story, which had been like amazing. That's how that partnership has worked. Then from there, I teamed up with director Nicole Lyer, and I think you pronounce it Liar. She's gonna be so mad at me. So like, and she's a Black female director, so talented. When I worked with her one time, and I was like, I really, really want her to direct this project. And I was like, and then I looked up, she had a little, she has credits, she has work done, and I was like, oh man, this is a big ask for her to get her on this like little indie project. But luckily, she loved the project, she loved the concept as well, and she had this huge need to be a part of it, which I'm super thankful for. But, I feel like it's given me a space where I feel like I can just come freely with my experiences and talk about like what I've been through. And then, I could run it through Naftali and run it through Nicole and, check it with them. And, they kind of, I feel like they have the buffer and have the like women experience. And again, they're not speaking for all women, right. But, they kind of keep me in check that way, that this isn't just becoming some disgrace to all women kind of thing, because it's right. That's not what I want to do. Like, that's not how I want it to go at all. So, I'm really, really thankful to have super talented and wonderful women on my team that help me put this together.
It's good that they
and make sure that there's like a good perspective from the women's side as well.
Yeah, it helps if they actually like, I think, the project, because instead of just it being another like check for them. Yeah. Because you get to, just from personal experience, like everything that I like I'm willing to, not necessarily work for free, but like I'll take a loss monetarily because it's like, it's something worthwhile doing, It's like, not only am I going to get better, but I actually like the content of, what I'm doing, So do you guys have you said a series? Is it already a written series, or you just
we're working on it? So Naftali, right? Well, my focus right now, I'm all about getting this pilot presentation made, so we could get into like pitches and like working on that, and that's very exciting. There's a lot of stuff that I can't talk about that's like cooking up in terms of that, and I'm very excited. And it's funny because I feel like people say that all the time, but this is the most serious I've seen it in terms of like, this process for me. If for anything that I've done, this is like, I don't know how to say this. I have the most eggs in the most baskets right now.
It really, that's how I think about it. You've made an EP before yourself. It's kind of like your baby, your film baby.
Yeah, but even more than that, I'm so thankful because my team, and especially like Nicole, has really helped me understand what to do for the life of the show. Okay. And that, I have always thought that far ahead, but I don't think before this project I really knew what that meant. I always knew that I had to think for the life of the show, but I'm actually like working and gearing towards what happens after the pilot and how to go about it, which, you know, honestly, before this wasn't really something that I fully understood. I don't fully understand it now, but I understand it a lot more than I did. And there's a lot more pieces that are going into place, which is exciting.
Right. Well, before you were mainly like as an actor, you were just focused on these are my lines. How do I get them to come out the best as possible?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And then let everybody else worry about everything else, right?
That's the thing. Like, you know, it makes so much sense because coming from an actor's perspective where you're always like, oh, I'm auditioning and I'm not getting these jobs and it's hard to get these jobs. And, you know, when you get these jobs, you're like really thankful. But it's like when you're on the other side of like producing and putting it together, it's like it's really hard to even think about like the actor. Not saying that the actors aren't important. They're super important to creating the story, but it's like just one piece of the whole thing. Like,
Right.
I'm the star of this show and I've barely even gotten to do any actor work on it.
Okay.
Like, you know, if this was someone else's pilot that they casted me as a star, I have the time to just work for 2 months,
Right.
like on the character. But since I'm executive producer and everything, I don't actually have that time to do it. Like I'm trying to do my work as an actor in terms of like breaking down the script and getting the character down. Hopefully it's easy to get the character down because it's really just me. But like, you know, but that's what I hope. But it's like, you know, the balance between getting that work done because there's so much work to do. I've been super busy, particularly in the past month and a half, getting everything settled for our shoot. And it's just been like really, really tough. It's a lot. And there's like a lot of stuff that you can't even control. Like if it was up to me, a lot of things could be done in like 2 days, but no, you have to like,
Oh, right.
you know, talk to lawyers and you have to talk to like, you know, crew members and locations and insurance and like, you know, sponsors, investors, things like that.
Right.
Like, you know, we have some of those things in place, but then it's also like a lot of things are pending. Even when people like, you know, we have the crowdfunder going on, and even if there's like investors that want to give you money, it's not like money just comes in, then like, you know, there's conversations.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
And then that's where like the lawyer comes in, and then I was just like, whoa, this is so much stuff. Like before I was just like, oh yeah, I can't wait for someone to give me money, and then like it comes, it happens, and you're like, oh, it's a lot of work. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, there's a lot of work involved, you know.
Yeah, I know every time I mean, the couple, I guess, like film and videos I've worked in, when the producer hits me up and tells me, like, this is what has to be done for the shoot day or the day of the shoot, whatever you call it, I know, like, in my mind, I'm trying to put myself in his or her shoes because it's like, I know I'm not the only guy. I'm probably, like, way down at the bottom towards, like, list of priorities. So however I can, I'm not gonna like not contact you, but just try to make your life today and tomorrow or whenever just easier.
That's the bad part, is that everyone's a priority. Like you
okay.
cannot slack on anybody, and that's the problem. Like, you know what I mean?
Gotcha,
It's like people
gotcha.
tell you don't juggle things, but then you literally have to juggle things.
Yeah.
Like, you know, because how can you? Like the actors are just as important as the caterer, is just as important as like the COVID compliance officer, super important.
right.
Like just as important as the locations, just as important as the investor. Like everyone has like equal importance, and it's hard. Like, yeah, I mean, that's why with these things there's a larger team, but you know,
Right.
for a self-funded passion project, like, you know, low to no budget, I can't like, you know, the answer is to just pay everybody to do everything.
Right,
But
yeah,
like, you know,
that's the easy way
but
out, I
that's
guess.
but like it's not, you know, at this level. That's not the thing. I don't have the funds to go do that.
Right.
A lot of these things I have to go do on my own. And it's hard. Like, you know, it's hard because everyone really is that important. And if anyone on my crew or cast is listening to this, every single one of you are so important. And
Right.
you know, it's so hard for me to answer all those emails and answer all those questions because everyone has something that they need answered that relies almost on somebody else's answer as well. And it's like a lot of decision making that has to be done quick. Sometimes you don't always make the best decisions, but you try to make the best decisions with the time that you have, like, you know, and the resources that you have. That's really
Right.
what it is.
Yeah, that's kind of like something that people gotta just stop and think about if you because like I said, I've been talking about this a little bit here and there, and yeah, people don't realize this is not like Warner Brothers or Universal that's putting this on, like.
But when it is
Right.
when it is though, that's the thing. When it is, I'm not worrying about that anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
it's a very different.
It's in the studio production company's hands
right,
at that point.
and they will probably have more of you, more people that do your
Yeah.
role.
They'll just be running things by me at that point. But when you scale up like that, yeah.
Right, and unfortunately, I mean, from what I've seen so far, at least in New York City, any filming that is done by a major production. So that's why, like, a major studio, I mean. So that's why I think it's important, like, for people to know that this is a thing. And to just, like, even if you don't have so much money or whatever, however you can help, like, it's definitely appreciated. Even though it's not my project, obviously. But
Yeah.
I want to see, I want to see I don't want to call you guys little, but I want to see
Independent.
Yeah, I want to see the independent
that's
folks.
what it is, independent.
Yeah, I want to see us work, because it's like, just because the mayor or whoever is telling you that things aren't happening doesn't mean they can't. Like, we still have to find ways to make it happen, to, like, keep our passion going. Like, there's no way that just because I can't work concerts anymore, that, like, I can't, like, do it at all.
Well, those are supposed to be opening back up again.
Yeah. So
one of the like talent bookers for the Delancey has like been emailing me again,
Nice.
and they're like, "Oh, we're booking dates for June," and I'm like, "Really?"
Yeah, I've
Like,
actually already seen things like advertised as happening for the summer.
It's like
Yeah.
they're advertised, but if they have to push it back, they're gonna reschedule.
Right, obviously.
Actually, a play that I got booked in last year, right before COVID, they just told me to be ready to go up in the fall.
Oh, nice.
And I said, okay. They said they might push it back, but they said just be ready. And I was like, okay, cool. So, things, I think they're planning to open it, but they'll see if it's going to work. I think like Broadway and concert venues, they're looking to open up at like 35% or something.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how that's going to work unless they charge really expensive
Yeah,
for
that's what I'm
those
thinking
tickets.
too.
Like,
Like, you can't.
because how are you going to
Yeah.
keep open?
Yeah.
But who knows? I don't know,
Yeah, like I mean, I know that, for example, I mean, that's like, I use really big examples, but like Madison Square Garden is already keeping bringing some people in. But I was gonna ask you too, what kept you, I guess. Well, I mean, going back home for you is staying in New York, luckily.
Yeah.
but like for somebody else, like, what do you think? Maybe you're not the right person. Maybe we're not the right people, because we're from here. So
I just have an opinion.
yeah,
That's
because we
it.
can't go back home, which is and
Right.
like not be New York. But like, if you were not from here, I'm just curious, like, what would have kept you here? Because there was, I mean, what were you gonna do last year? Like, exactly 1 year ago, almost, when you
Yeah.
couldn't do anything.
Well, here's my opinion. I mean, okay, if you're not from New York, there's obviously like a huge. Here's the thing: if you're not from New York, it's kind of actually an easier decision to me for you to stay. The only things that make it difficult is if you lost a job, because not everyone did lose a job, but a lot of people did, obviously. If it's harder for you to pay your rent, then that's what's making it very difficult for you to stay. And I bet that for 90% of people, that's the only thing that's making it difficult for people to stay, because that's the only thing that doesn't make sense.
Right.
Like, if you're not making as much money, why would you pay rent to stay here? So the appeal to go back home is obviously that, to save money, which if you don't have to be in New York, which for the most part, a lot of things have been closed for the past year. And even like actors, like, I don't know like who I'm saying this for, but even like actors, a lot of auditions are on Zoom now, and a lot of auditions
okay.
are like virtual. So you literally, like, a ton of my actor friends are like back in Ohio or back in Chicago or wherever, because they just do auditions on Zoom. And then if they get booked on something, then, they fly out and then do the job there. So there kind of is no reason to be. And I think a lot of casting directors are learning as well that they don't need a casting office so much as they used to need
Yeah.
a casting office. So it's like, they can do their auditions on Zoom. Maybe they'll bring you in person for like a callback or something. But for right now, it's totally not necessary. and everyone's kind of liking that. They're kind of liking this work from home thing.
That's
So
cool.
if you're
That's good.
paying rent at an apartment, but you don't have to be here and you're working from home, then, yeah, there is kind of no reason, but I don't know. It depends on your situation. Like, I see there's a lot of people that are staying because people are leaving. Rent prices are dropping. I'm a real estate agent as well. So it's like, I see that in my own practice that, a ton of people have just decided to upgrade their apartments because you can do that for the time being.
Right.
It's a very,
makes sense.
yeah, it's a good viable option for now. And people are worried about rents going back to original rent price. Well, that's only going to happen when the economy recovers, which if it's miraculously will be like 3 years. My guess, I'm not like a forecaster or anything, but for the economy to really recover, I'm guessing 10 years. It's just an educated guess. Again, I'm not a financial planner or anything. Maybe it gets better sooner. I have no idea. But, ironically, all the renters are actually banking on the economy to stay bad if they want their rent prices to stay low. So, like, that's kind of the thing. So that's kind of what it is. Like, so that's the thing. People are staying because they can upgrade their apartments. Like, you can get stuff now that a year and a half ago were just impossible.
Yeah,
Like,
makes a lot of sense.
So there's that. For me to go back home, yeah, again, I'm in Queens, so doesn't really make a difference. It's actually just kind of made things easier. I don't have a reason to be in an apartment right now because like I can still go to the city. I just drive everywhere now. I didn't bring my car to Brooklyn, but like but going back to Queens, I got my car back, and then it's just kind of like, yeah, I don't see a purpose of like renting anything.
Yeah, because I was just wondering, I was trying to put myself in the shoes of an actor that's like, I'm so close to just kind of getting that big break, and then everything shut down, and it's like, but what if I get it as soon as everything comes back?
It hasn't stopped a lot of people, and I hate to say this because like if you've been lucky enough to stay productive during like the pandemic, that's great. Like there's a ton of actors that are still booking jobs whatever through 2020 and had no problem. Like I see all the success stories, and if you're an actor, I'm sure you've seen them too. But if you're at home not booking anything, not getting any jobs, like I don't want you to feel bad about it either, because hey, we're still in the middle of a pandemic. Like if you're able to get jobs, that's awesome, but like if you're not able to work and all you could do is like survive right now, that's also really great. Like
it's kind of more important, right?
Yeah, there's like a ton of people that unfortunately are not surviving, and not to take away from that, it's just like there's that. So in terms of like staying in New York, even as an actor, you don't have to, because like people are just doing things through Zoom and it's fine. And then, I don't know, that whole actor thing, I want to just jump on the like creating content thing is super huge. Like it's just really, really big just to plan your own thing and just, create it for yourself. So there's that as well.
Yeah, luckily we have just about every form of like medium to create now. Like you kind of don't have an excuse like to say, oh, I don't know where to start.
Yeah, it's cool because like being directionless is great because it's just like you can just start a new direction. But at the same time, if you're not feeling it or you don't feel motivated because of all the fatigue going around, that's fine too. Like, like whatever you're doing and however you decided to spend your time for the past year and a half is perfectly okay. That's what I really want everyone to know. Like, whether you sat in your room all day long, every single day for a year, or like you went out and like did a bunch of things, one isn't better than the other. It's just what it is,
Well, do you think it's, going back to like just being, just creating content and all that, do you think it's harder for, or if anything, maybe I should switch it up. Do you think it was easier for like creative types to like handle all this, like this whole time? Like, I'll just give you an example. Like myself, like, obviously, like I have this podcast, but before this, like I was just into making music. And then once the pandemic hit, you would think that I would just start making music all the time, like every day. But for some reason, like, maybe it's just me being hard on myself, but like everything I made was just like, meh. Like, you know.
It's 100% you being hard on yourself. It really, really is, because that's what I was saying. Like you think like, oh, I have all this time now, so now I'm gonna like do all these great things. Some people did, some people didn't, because it's still a hard time to do it. Like any art that you create is going to be influenced by what's going on with you
Right.
and what's going on around you. And if there's nothing around you except a goddamn quarantine and a pandemic, what do you expect to make? Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you know, that's what else is going to happen, except you're going to make mess stuff because all you're thinking about is how meh it is, like with
Right.
this pandemic happening, you know? So if that happened, I don't blame you, like, you know, and that's what it is. Like, I don't know. I think there was a lot of time for people to decide, like, if they wanted to change direction or change their career or change what they wanted to do. I think a lot of people found courage in the time to do it now, because there was no obligation to anything. Like, for a little bit, no one had any obligation to go to work. No one had any obligation to do this. No one had like, oh, I have to do this. I have to do that. How can I think of doing this? But, you know, hopefully, maybe they found some courage in the fact that they weren't tied down to anything. Like, to me, I know it's like a huge excuse to be like, oh, well, I don't have to go into work, so I can just work on a bunch of things. It's great. Like, you know what I mean? And it was a great like opportunity for me to grow from that, which I just jumped for, and I, you know, tried to say. But then, you know, for other people, it could be hard as well, because if you found yourself unemployed, then, you know, some people were stressing about like, well, where am I going to get my next job?
Right.
It's not easy to just relax and be like, it was
Yeah,
bad.
exactly.
My advice was like, well, just relax. Like, everyone's unemployed. That's what I was saying at the time.
Right.
But, you know, it's kind of unreasonable. Like, not everyone could find the relaxation in that. They're like, okay, well, you know, bills don't stop. I have to like do whatever. And I get it. You know, it's not the best. Yeah, you have time, but it's also kind of like, you know, what are you playing with? Depends on how much of it you can let go and whatever. And again, not any decision is better than the other of whatever happened for the past year and a half for you.
Yeah, it's definitely weird. But I mean, going back to your project, when and how was it that you thought like, oh, this is a thing. This could be a thing. Let's start doing it.
Yeah, this project, I thought of it a long time ago. I really wanted to make this happen a while ago. I want to say more than a year ago. I actually started drafting some stuff for it, but I'm just not quite a writer yet.
Oh, okay.
You know, like it's not my strongest thing.
Cool.
So that's why I teamed up with a writer. How I ended up doing that was I was on this website called Lunch Club, which is pretty cool because it's like this networking thing where you can talk to people all over the world in your industry. So my goal was like, I want to find a writer that can help me with this and we could partner up. So I think my third meeting on Lunch Club, I met Naftali, something like that. It was like my third or something. And, you know, we started talking and I was like, yeah, I want to put together, you know, I want to create content and I want to make this thing, but, you know, I need a writer to help me. And then she said, oh, well, I'm a writer. And, you know, and she wanted to just make content and she wanted to make like an international film collective was her goal. Cool. And I was like, oh, cool. Sounds like our goals are like, you know, together, like, let's do something. So we sent some emails, didn't know if she was going to answer or not, but, you know, we actually started emailing. So I was like, oh, cool. Something can come out of this. So I don't know, it just started snowballing from there. We started talking about the idea of Fuggboi and how it was going to go. I sent her some stories, some writings from my experience that I sent to her. She put it together into like a story, and then we had our pilot. And then it just really started snowballing from there. Then, you know, I brought it to Nicole. Nicole got on board. And then from Nicole, we started going into pre-production and blah, blah, blah. And then that was it. Like, I don't know. Now here I am, like, stressing out over locations and stuff, like, you know, just being like, okay, like, you know, I need locations, I need insurance, I need rentals, like, you know, that's where I am now. So I don't know, this has been in the works for a while, definitely over a year. For this particular presentation of it, I'll say it's been in the works since last October. Wait, you know what? I can find out when exactly I met Naftali.
You're saying 2020?
Yeah.
Okay. So it was basically during all the free time.
It was.
in a way.
Yeah,
Okay.
it 100% was. Because Lunch Club was great because I love networking. I love meeting people. Like, I think people think networking is like a bad thing, but it's just like,
I don't see
it's not.
how.
It's
Yeah.
it's just meeting people. It's just making friends, right? And I love doing that. So how could you do that when you're quarantining inside?
exactly.
So Lunch Club was amazing. I just racked up meetings. I would do like 2-3 meetings every morning. Then I started getting really tired. So I started.
That's pretty cool, but
Yeah.
yeah.
And I literally just started doing that. So I met Naftali at the end of August. So I would say since August that this particular rendition of it has been
Okay.
in the making.
So that's pretty. I mean, I don't know how long it takes to write something because I never really tried, but I think that's pretty good time wise. Like, if you just started kind of coming up with at the end August. Once again, I don't know how fast it takes to write a script,
Yeah.
but I think that's more than plenty of time, right? To like write a draft and then look it over, share it with somebody across the world, and then actually, that's what I was just thinking right now. Is like how this kind of forced us into definitely going more virtual, because you know, like you said, everybody stopped getting the chance of like not really, but we were all told to stop meeting people. You know?
Right. Well,
And,
in
like,
person.
Yeah, and I know like for yourself and for me, like it's easy for us to meet people in real life, like just going about your day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the fact that you found something to meet somebody not even in this continent,
Yeah.
you know, that would definitely worked out pretty well. And the fact that you found somebody that like you clicked with in a way. Like, did you guys actually? I assume you actually talked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
No, of course. Yeah.
Right.
No, we talked. And we got along. I really liked her energy. She really liked my energy. That's the other thing. Is like I rely heavily on energy.
Right.
How I feel about someone. So we felt good about each other. Same way that we felt good about Nicole. And as long as people keep bringing you that good energy, that's what you want to be surrounded by.
Do you think that's something you can still get over Zoom calls and
Yeah,
all that?
you
Okay.
can. You absolutely can.
All right.
I've seen some people through Zoom that I'm just like, I don't know about this guy. Like, it's
Oh,
just
okay.
so yeah, 100%. Because in energy translates like in acting as well. And I think I got more aware of it as an actor because when you're acting, when you watch someone on the screen or even in theater, that's why it's different, right? That's why theater is different from film.
Oh, right.
Sometimes you watch an actor and you're like, I don't know, I feel like he's faking it. Like I'm not getting it, right?
Okay.
But that's because of the energy you're getting from him. He's on a screen, he or she is on a screen. They recorded this some time ago, but you know whether you're getting something or not. It's why you feel emotional to certain like movies or certain things because they're giving you a certain energy that's just there. So that's why absolutely 100% you still get that through Zoom as well. Because it's just that's what they're
you're
giving you, you know?
Yeah, that's interesting. Because I mean, I've honestly been trying to like not do that. Like anything that can be in person, I'd rather have it be in person. Because yeah, I'm afraid of that. Like just because we're like all this like delay and you can't really see your whole body.
I think
It's kind of not helping.
trust your instincts. You trust your instincts. Like you're usually not wrong.
Oh, okay, right.
You're usually not wrong.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good to know. And I mean, the fact that, like you said, you've been in fields already that you have to read people's energy and like see and kind of get a feel for it.
Yeah.
Like whether it's meeting somebody or you're in the action of like creating something. That's definitely another thing too. I mean, people don't realize like it's really hard to make something good when the energy isn't there, like for everybody involved, right?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. If there's one person that's kind of like bringing the energy down, it really can slow down like a whole thing. So,
Also, I just saw, like I was listening to somebody's podcast and they mentioned about, I forgot what film. It's like some really old Western. To be honest, I don't know the actor or the movie, but they were talking about how the script is just written, if you don't get out of the car, I'll blow your fucking face off. But the way the guy delivered it, it was like, if you don't get out that car, I'm gonna blow your fucking face off. Like that's very different. and that's like energy wise.
Yeah.
So do you think that's is that what you talk about when you're like
Somewhat, yeah. Because you can even do it in the same way where you're copying it, right? You can do it where you're copying it, but what energy are you actually reading from the person? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are you getting? Do you actually feel in danger? I'm sure when you watch that thing, you actually feel afraid,
right?
And like you're actually, and you are afraid for whoever he's talking to. But someone could copy it and be like, yo, that was such a cool scene. If you don't get out that fucking car, I'll blow your fucking face off.
Right.
And then they start laughing, but his energy's like completely different. It's like now they're joking about it. He said the same thing in the same way, but you're getting a different energy off him. Like, I'm not afraid of him. This is my friend. We just watched this movie. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that energy is super specific to what you're giving and what you're getting. So absolutely.
Do you ever find somebody, I guess, trying like both styles out in a way? Like, you know, like you said, like, you know, that actor gave away like you better be scared shitless. But then somebody else could take it, or maybe even the same actor in a different take, do it like funnier.
That's the thing that's cool. That's the thing that matters in auditions when actors come in and they bring themselves to it. That's what it means to bring yourself to the work.
Oh, okay.
You know, we can come in and audition for the same role, but you'll do it a different way than I do it. Hopefully, if we do it truthfully, I don't want to say right, but if we do it truthfully, like the way that I want to do it, the way that you want to do it, and not the way that we think the casting director wants to see it, that's where like the magic starts really happening, because then it's like, oh well, I read it like this, and to me this is what I think, so that's what I'm giving. And then it makes casting directors and makes producers look at it and they go, oh, I didn't even see it like that, like, you know. And when they see it that way, that's what you want them. That's where you know, when, I don't know, you probably hear they always tell actors, oh well, you need to stand out. That's what that means. Like, it doesn't, you get to a point where everyone stands out, which means everyone does it a different way, hopefully. Like with really high level auditions, everyone just gives you like a different thing and you're like, wow, well, which one just serves the story the best? That's the thing also with young actors, and I think like more seasoned actors understand this. It's not about like, oh, I did a bad job at my audition or something. I think younger actors will see it that way. But more seasoned actors are like, oh, well, you know, that's just not the way the story goes. You know, that's not best for how they want to do it.
Yeah, my fault. But yeah, right, because like I'm just kind of thinking back to like the stories that I know. For example, like how Seth Rogen applied for the role of Dwight, you know, in The Office. Yeah. Clearly, obviously, he didn't get it, but it was like, pretty sure he also would have been funny. But it was like, I'm pretty sure the casting director was looking for a certain
well, the producer gets the final say.
Oh, okay.
The producer gets the final say, and there's a lot more things that are involved, whether than like if this person's going to be funny or not. If this person's going to be funny or not, does it match the tone of the show? Does it match the tone of the film? What's his chemistry like with the other actors? You know, is his chemistry going to complement the other actors? And then there's all like marketing, producing shit with people don't even like think about it. It's like, well, how marketable is he right now? How much are people going to watch a show with him in it right now? What markets is he doing well in? Like, do people from 20 to 30 like him? You remember working at eWorks? It's pretty much like that.
Doing that.
So yeah. So like so there's a lot more things that affect those decisions rather than like how good or how funny somebody is. They're all great choices, but that's the thing. When you get to high level auditions, there's like 10 people that are a great option, and you just have to make the decision that hopefully is best for the project. It's not always the best decision for the project, but you do the best you can.
You think there's ever situations where they're like it's high level people, like actors? Do you think that anybody ever says they're too famous for this role or for this project? not like
yes and no.
Putting money aside, you know.
Yes and no. Okay. I think it's more like because it comes down to, in acting, when you're hot, you're hot. So that means, you know, when you're hot, you just have offers from like left and right. So it's all a matter of like, well, do you have time to do it, and does it make sense for you to do it? And then there's also the thing with like, you know, staying in your brand or staying in your niche,
Oh,
because you
gotcha.
can choose a role that if you know for you, like someone might want you because you're really hot as an actor, and they know that it'll bring value to their project,
Right.
and maybe you'll kill it, maybe you'll do a great job. But at the same time, if it falls out of line with the work that you know that you do the best, then like it might not be a good decision for you to do it. Yeah, like
That's interesting,
yeah,
yeah.
I kind of learned some of that stuff from John Dapolito. He coaches actors on finding like their niche
Oh, okay.
with things. Yeah, he has a really good seminar on that.
Do you think you have your own niche by now?
I do. I actually
Okay.
worked with John, so that's why
that's
I
how
do
you
know
know
it.
him.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Is that something you want to tell us?
Um,
All right.
I don't know if I say it here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm gonna say it here, but if anybody ever wants to talk to me privately, I'll totally tell you privately. But let's see, how can I say this? I can say like some characters that my niche is like. My niche is very much like characters like Spider-Man or like Captain America, or people or also like Joe from You or Dexter. Those are characters that are all within my niche, and it's like, what do those characters have to do with each other?
Well,
If you knew my niche, they do.
Yeah,
Like,
because I was
yeah.
gonna say I personally could see it because I've seen your work, so I kind of like I am connecting the dots now.
Yeah.
But I guess for people who haven't,
So then, like, for me, if I was really hot and I was doing a bunch of roles that are like that, and people might not be able to connect those dots, and then someone offers me something that's like completely from left field, totally out of it,
Oh,
it
right.
might not be my best work, and it might derail me.
oh, okay,
But
gotcha.
it's like it's something for me to decide, and then it's not like I would be like, oh, I'm too good for this. I would just be like, I don't know if it's the best decision for me, if it makes me think like that. Like for now, I'm pretty focused on doing things that are in line with me, and that's just kind of it, because it also helps you stay true. It's like,
Right.
when you're being an artist as an actor or a musician or anything, I think there's people talking to you from like every angle.
Yeah, right.
And it's just like, oh no, you should do this, you should do that. And I think what really, really helps you stay in line with that is when you know yourself the best. So me knowing that through line helps me make those decisions. Because I have gotten roles sometimes, like people will send me something and I'm like, I don't know if that represents me the
Yeah.
best. And, even looking at previous work that I've done, some of it I'm just like, yeah, it's okay, but why is it okay? Because I don't think it's me at my best anyway. So
But I assume you had to try out a lot of different things before you got to know that, right?
yeah, there's a level that you go through at first where it's just like, well, I just want to like play. I just want to act.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? So I'm just going to do whatever. That goes for a while. But then at some point you're like, okay, what's happening?
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
like, well, what am I trying to do? And then after that you figure it out, and then you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, if you take the wrong things, it might just derail you.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you know yourself, like I think that's kind of the most important step in
Yeah.
a way. Like, because if you're just, I mean, I understand being open, but if you're just years and years into it and you're kind of still floating in the wind like a plastic bag. It's kind of like, what are you really doing? Like, what's your real value, plastic bag? Like, so you
Exactly. I mean, even if you are a plastic bag, then it gets to the question of like, well, what kind of plastic bag are you? Because then, it gets, what makes, if you are a plastic bag, what makes people want to use you
That's
rather than
true.
all the other plastic bags?
That's true. What's her name? I still don't know her name, and I think she's like amazing. The lady who plays Agatha.
Oh, Catherine Hahn.
Yeah, I still like, for some reason I can't remember
She's
that.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, and like, because I think
Go
about
back
like her.
to WandaVision.
Yeah, just go watch
Welcome
it.
back.
Yeah. Because I keep thinking, like, as I watch it, like I think about the other roles I've seen her in, and even though they mostly are comedy, like you see in like WandaVision or
Yeah.
just anything else, like how she could switch it up for like 1 second to the
Because that's the
next.
thing. I know that if we really, really think about all her roles, you can find the same through line, the same niche through all of them. I don't know. I just don't have time to sit there and think about it. But like, she is like, the thing that I know from her work, she's super funny, but she can also get like, she can really bring the humanity to like everything that
Yeah.
she's playing. Like, you know what I
Exactly.
mean? And that's a very, very careful choice to make with casting as well, because, you know, especially with comic book characters, how do you make these comic book heroes like human and not
Right.
like, and not just like a cartoon, you know? And that's the thing with these characters, you know. Catherine Hahn does a really great job as Agatha as well. You see her like, you know, you didn't really know if she was anything
Right,
at
yeah.
the beginning. Oh, this is a total spoiler if no one's seen
Right.
the last two
It's all right.
episodes.
Fast forward.
But yeah, yeah, just fast forward again. But it's like, you know, how do you just make them not look like a cheesy witch, you know?
right.
But
It's
she
very- it was very
brings the
easy.
she brings the person to the character, which is what it is. You know, she sees she's in this search of something. You see that she's a little threatened by Wanda as well. Like there's a lot going on. She's not just like, oh, I'm gonna fuck with everyone's lives. Like, you know,
Right.
there's a whole thing going on with her, which is great. And like, you know, I don't know. I think what's her name? Olsen does a really great job as
Oh
well.
yeah. Yeah, she's pretty good too.
Paul Bettany too.
Yeah.
They're all good.
Well, I mean, they have all the money to just throw at A-list actors. So.
Yeah.
That's why it's
Yeah.
like an all-star cast. And it's funny because I was watching not too long ago. I've clearly been very bored on YouTube, but it's, you know, taught me plenty. But I was watching how they took like 5 of the main male characters. I think it was like Bucky, Falcon, what's his name, Chris Pratt, and Thor and Iron Man. I know they have real names, but and I know Chris Pratt is Star-Lord, but they're kind of breaking down their, like, how they're all different, like personality wise.
Yeah.
But they're all like human, like male, like personalities in a way. Like this
Yeah.
guy is like clearly boastful. This guy is clearly just shy. This guy's clearly just a talker. Tom Holland was the other guy.
Yeah.
Speaking about talker, like storytelling, and this guy's just like the quiet, cool one, and this guy's like the charmer. And it's
Yeah.
like you said, they put like in the comics, you never really read that in a way, like unless you read all of them. Like if you just get into comics, you're probably just gonna see the you know, like the main action.
The personalities are there.
Yeah.
They're there in the comics, but that's the thing. It's just different translating it from the comics to like a movie. You know, you
Right.
can't just be like, well, that's what it says in the comics. Like, you know, someone,
Right, yeah, that's
like
what
the
I'm saying.
actor still has to bring that to that. And, you know, these actors bringing themselves to these comic book characters breathe life into everything that's written down, because, you know, the characters have been written. They are like that. But, you know, the embodiment of them is like really, really cool.
Right. Yeah. You like you said, you're putting a human element into it that I guess helps us connect even further. Because I'm pretty sure all kids would love just the Marvel movies if it was just fighting.
Right. Right.
Right. But I guess like my mom is able to connect because it's like she's able to relate to somebody, you know.
Yeah.
At least somebody, which is nice. Okay, 59 minutes. I didn't offer you any water. I'm sorry, and
okay.
it's really hot in here now.
Yeah.
Do you want to
Now.
like pause so I could get? I don't know. What
Sure.
pause.
Timeout. Zach Morris, timeout.
Have you ever felt the pain you feel when someone that's just like you is living the life you wanna live, but for you it's just too late? Have you ever felt like you won a race, but in the end you came out last? Well, that's how I feel every day. Have you ever felt so alone, but no one came to save you? What you thought was bad, but no one saw how sad you were when you sat all alone. Well, that's how I feel every day. Every day I feel there's someone better. Every noon I'm told that I'm wrong.
Sorry, I was not turned up. But yeah, thanks everybody so far. Hope you're enjoying. Just want to do once again a quick little halftime break for you guys. I know we needed one. Definitely, you know, talking for an hour, you definitely need to hydrate, and generally you need to hydrate. So if you're not drinking a lot, a lot of water, that is on a daily basis. Get to doing it. Get one of them big ass gallon-y looking jugs, especially the ones that tell you like by the hour what line you should be up to. That helps if you're not a frequent water drinker. But I digress. Speaking of taking care of yourself, let me tell you a little bit about Monat, by the way, in case you haven't heard by now. Monat, Modern Nature is what it stands for. It's not Frenchy. It's not Monet. It's a Modern Nature. It's English. It's American. You guys want to support American companies? Definitely check out Monat, Monat, by the way. David V has become a marketing partner with Monat. And if you guys haven't heard before, they do wellness. Like it was first started out as hair and skin products, shampoo, lotions, all the good stuff to take care of your outsides. But now they've moved on to taking care of your insides as well. So just off the head, I know I should have this up like in front of me, like written down and all that. But I like to take pride in freestyling, so here it goes. No, but for real, they have products for your insides now. So what I mean is like just to name a few, they have kind of like a daily gut cleanser. I think that's what they call it, where it's basically like a bunch of like greens into powder, put into powder form, where you can have in the morning, with water or whatever juice you drink, so they could flush out all the bad shit in your gut, and give you the good type of bacteria in there, as well as I know they have like CBD, like infused gummies and like liquid form as well. I don't know what they call it. Where you, I don't know the name. Liquid form, just liquid. For somebody like me, that's very good because at night you want to wind down and knock the fuck out so you get your 8 hours of sleep or whatever. And what else do they have? I think they have something for your what did I say? They have with melatonin drops, which is kind of the same thing that CBD does, to be honest. But yeah, just go on the website David V / no, or basically it's the same thing if you put it in the beginning or the end, my name, either davidv.mymonat.com or mymonat.com/davidv, and go check that out. Go check out all the products because I can't name them all here. This will be an episode strictly about Monat, but maybe I'll do one day. Actually, yeah, now I have a good idea. But go to mymonat.com/davidv, and what I advise everybody to do is join the VIP program, because this is what you get. You get 20% off all retail prices. Anything you buy, and if you're a VIPer, you get that. You also get something for your birthday. Every birthday, who doesn't like birthday gifts? Big enough. I don't think I got my birthday gift. I gotta see what's up. What's up with that, Monat? Oh, is it because I'm not technically in the VIP program? I think so. Shit, my birthday came and went, and I didn't join the VIP program. It's all right because you also get what I say, 20% off or 15%. Oh man, I'm starting to forget these. Sorry. Let me pull them up. Okay, so I said the off retail prices. You get the birthday thing. You get the free shipping. You get the credit if you I think it's like $20 credit if you refer other people to the VIP program. You also get I forget what they call it. They have a special name for this gift, but once you spend after a certain amount, I think it's $65 or something, you get a free gift from them, and you get first access to all the newest products. So definitely go check it out. If you haven't seen how good my hair looks, go look at one of the YouTube versions of the podcast so you can see. I mean, I don't brush it every day. I'm not here like mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all. Speaking of mirror, mirror on the wall, who out there has one of those mirror things to work out? It's kind of like the Peloton kind of looking thing, but like full body. And I don't know if it's pre-recorded or somebody's like, kind of video conferencing with you, let me know what that's like, and let me know if you talk to it, and if it talks back. All right, back to Monet. Yeah, definitely go check it out. I'll gladly send you some free samples. By the way, I got plenty of free samples. I've given some out already, and if you want some yourself, definitely let me know. Remember, you could go to davidvmusic.com for anything as far as like contacting me or looking up any music, any products that we might have out, or any podcast episodes. They're all up there. Or you could direct message me at maj0r. So it's D major, but somebody took that name, so I had to improvise with a 0. And DM me. You could go to Facebook, the Hang podcast. No, it's the Hang hosted by David V. Facebook is slightly different. And what else can you do? You could email me. I mean, I know emailing is like a whatever that era before the millennials. That's just kind of like who does that. Nowadays, everybody just wants to text you or DM you. So just DM me or the hang_podcast. And yeah. Anything else I want to mention before we get back to it? I mean, this is usually where I mention Fuggboi Dave and how to get kind of how to find out about it, but we've kind of been saying it throughout the episode. So and I'm definitely gonna post all the links in the show notes. So other than that, I think I'm ready to get back to it. Hope you're enjoying, and once again, I apologize. You're gonna notice towards the end of the episode. I mean, you already hear it throughout the episode where I'm getting up and shit because I have to go press record on the camera, which, by the way, didn't catch everything. So if you're watching, that's why there's a couple, blank spaces. But it's cool, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the episode. And once again, sorry for the, sudden cutout at the end. But enjoy.
So where were we, Chris?
I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
not
me
sure
neither.
where we were.
New thing. We were talking about the WandaVision, but that's I think we could retire that for now. Just go watch it, guys. And Disney Plus isn't sponsoring us, so we just want you to watch it. Like straight up. I think tomorrow's the last episode.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is Friday, right?
Yes, tomorrow's Friday.
I heard they're gonna come out with like a new episode because they obviously have a shitload of new content coming.
I know. They're just gonna start another show right afterwards. That's all it is.
Is it the not Winter Soldier, the Captain? Oh, yeah, Captain. Nah,
Yeah,
Falcon. And Winter Soldier.
Yes, that's the one.
Nice. Do you think that's gonna be, or like, do you know of anything that they've said about it?
No, dude, they never say anything
Yeah, I
about
don't
it.
think
They
so.
always just kind of like keep it secret, and then just like it just comes out when it comes out.
Yeah. But why are there so many Spider-Man like rumors and shit?
I don't know. Like I think Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are gonna be in Spider-Man 3.
Okay.
That's it. They're gonna be in there, and there's no question about it. I think they're gonna play a little game where they're like, oh, they're not in it, but they're obviously gonna be in it.
Well, this whole WandaVision kind of opens up the idea that just a lot of crazy shit could happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, they always do this, but they do a pretty good job of. Yeah, I'm sorry of like keeping you in like mystery and suspense, and then eventually they just kind of reveal it all.
Yeah.
At the at what I like to think is the feet point. You know what I'm talking about? 62%.
What?
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, what are you
so-
talking about?
And just a little lesson here, life lesson. You know the golden ratio,
Okay.
right? So, I'm trying to put it in simple terms. So let's look at your hand, for example. Let's look at your finger.
Yeah. Okay.
You see how it's split up into 3.
Mm-hmm.
So your whole finger is 100%. The first line, compared to your whole finger, that's 62%. Same thing as here.
Okay.
And then same thing with your hand. Like your whole palm of your hand is 62%.
Right.
And then same thing with your arm, with your forearm. The forearm compared to from tip to elbow, the forearm is 62%. Same thing with your whole arm. The what is it? The upper arm compared to the shoulder to tip is 62%. So in nature, that's kind of like the important point.
Yeah.
You've made music before, right?
Yes. Yes.
I'm pretty sure your solos and your change ups or key changes or whatever happened at 62%
Probably.
without you like really trying.
Yeah.
Like you just kind of knew like that's the point. That's the turning point of the song. So that's what I feel like they did with WandaVision, you know.
Yeah.
They kind of just let it play out. Then probably like 6th, 7th episode is when they started revealing a lot of what's happening.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, they know when they're doing it.
Yeah, so it's only natural for I think it was like when they showed you what's her name.
Yeah, it was the 7th episode.
Yeah, right. It was the 7th episode when they showed the outside world.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they know what they're doing. It's Disney.
Exactly. Yeah.
I forgot why I even got to that point about the feet point. Yeah.
I'm not sure either.
It's
I don't know
cool.
either. Yeah.
It's cool. But are there any non-Disney stuff that you would recommend?
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like this might be really bad, but just like from my thing, I've just been so focused on working
No,
that
I was gonna say
I've not been consuming any content.
No,
for,
as
like,
a
the
matter of
past month
fact,
and a
I was
half.
gonna kind of take that back because as soon as I asked that, I'm like, "Well, dude, he's been working on a fucking movie. Why would he
been
watch
working on it
TV
this whole time?" I mean, I would love to. I would really, really love to, but I just haven't. Like, this is so bad. I'm only at the beginning of Lovecraft Country.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm only like 3 episodes in.
Well, you're doing way more than I do because all I watch is just like I said, random YouTube shit and whatever comes out on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what other? Wasn't there something else big on Disney Plus not so long ago?
Was there?
I saw another series there. Oh yeah, The Mandalorian. Duh.
Oh yeah, The Mandalorian. Yep.
Yeah, how could I forget? Thanks
Yeah.
for I
Well,
remember
because we're
you
waiting on
actually
that.
helped me get started.
Did
on
I?
that series?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you start in that? It's so good.
yeah, it was good. It's a shame. I don't think they're having any more, right? That's kind
No,
of
they are.
You sure?
They are. I thought they were.
Oh, okay.
Really? I don't know. I thought they were.
That kind of looked like the end for me. That's why.
That's a good point.
But hopefully
No,
not.
I think there is more, but there is more Star Wars shows as well.
Right. That's
So
what I
they're-
meant.
They're doing like Kenobi, and they're doing they're doing a Boba Fett, I think, because they set that up at the end.
Right. Exactly. That's why I assume it was like it's it for this.
I didn't think it was it though. I thought they were still going.
Oh, okay. Oh, hopefully you're right. I want you to be right.
I actually want to know where the hell Grogu is, like when Luke is
Oh, right.
training, when he's training Ben and all that stuff. Like, you know,
Yeah.
like did Ben kill Grogu?
All right. That's what I think. That's
Because that was a big theory that came up, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like, well, Ben must have killed him, like, you know, or he hid. I don't know. It's easy to just be like he hid.
I mean, I thought that was assumed. But that's just me, maybe.
no, but it's just you don't know.
Which is a good thing about Disney. They just kind of keep you like, what do you think is going to happen?
Yeah,
Like, even throughout the actual show. It's, like, you know, like the second to last episode, you know, it was very, like, well, I mean, I don't want to be biased because I think Bill Burr is currently my favorite comedian, and he was, I forget the guy's name. The guy that used to be, not a rebel fighter, but the opposite. Like I don't think he's considered one of the clones, but oh my gosh. But yeah, he used to be a bad guy.
okay.
You know, the bald guy.
yeah,
Yeah. And well, first of all, just seeing him in that role to me was hilarious because like I hear him and
I
I'm
remember what you're
laughing
talking about,
and I'm
yeah.
laughing because he's a fucking comedian. Like I'm watching you to laugh.
yeah,
And as soon as I saw him, I just started dying because it's like he's over here trying to play a serious role.
yeah.
And then, I mean, I like the fact that towards the end, once again, spoiler alert,
I mean, you should have seen it by now.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
It's been
yeah.
like half a year.
Yeah. If you don't know, then it's fine.
Yeah, but like, you know, the fact that he had such like a vital, like, I guess, role and scene is kind of like he was the turning point. It's just like, oh man, you finally get to see like. Oh, I mean, I just felt good for him because it's like he's not a real act. I mean, everybody's a real actor, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's nice to see the guy you least expect to make a big impact in a way.
Hmm.
But I hope that's more. Like, actually, now that I think about it, because I do listen. He has a weekly podcast, and he was talking about it, and then he was gonna say something like, "I just want to stay in their good side for next time," but he
Yeah.
didn't say anything. He's like, "In case they hire me again."
Yeah.
But you know, it's like you've said shit like that before, and you ended up on the damn show.
Yeah. Maybe.
So
Well, it's all about who you know, right? Like
Right.
he did stay on their good side, so they hire him again. Maybe.
Yeah,
that's what
exactly.
maybe that's what he did.
yeah, I think it was. I mean, I don't want to put all the credit to one person, but I think it was, you know, going back to like this person's a legit fan, so he wanted to make the best possible like product. But Jon Favreau, you know, it's kind of like he's the guy to put it together, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like it came out good because once again he was like a fan of
Yeah.
legit Star Wars.
They know the things.
Yeah.
They know the things.
Is there something out there that you'd like to be part of just because you're a fan of it?
It's I would just because I'm a fan. Yes, I think the short answer to that is yes.
Is it too many things to try to pick?
It is too many things. It's funny because it's also these things that we had like mentioned, like
Oh, right.
yeah, you know,
Right. Like, are you even the right fit kind of thing? Or-
No, not that.
Oh,
I
what
mean,
you mean.
like, I mean, the things we were just talking about that I would love to be on.
Oh,
Like, I would-
right.
All right, I'm just gonna say it. I would love to be in Marvel,
Yeah.
and you know, if people are gonna say it from like, I did grow up reading comics. I can't say that I read them as much as Kevin Feige did, but I did grow up, and I was like always watching every single time they come up. Like, just to be a part of the universe would be great.
Yeah, even just to be like a extra or something, or
Oh
what
no,
do you-
I mean, I've no way. But like, I would love to play the Red Feather. I'd love to play the MCU version
okay.
of the Red Feather. He's like a Filipino superhero.
yeah.
My version would have to be adapted to like a Filipino American. But hey, we're doing the whole representation thing.
That's true.
And it's huge because they got Simu Liu playing Shang-Chi. And it's like,
Wow,
dude,
nice.
that they have Jimmy Woo playing. They have Jimmy Woo playing his. They have Randall Park playing Jimmy Woo.
Yeah.
So it's just like you already have two major players to bring in the new Agents of Atlas, and it's just like, how can you not think that that's happening? And if they bring in the new Agents of Atlas, those are all the Asian heroes, and then it's just like, dude, Red Feather is part of that. And I'm just gonna put it out into the universe now. I want to be Red Feather.
Yes, you heard it here.
Heard it here
Producers,
first.
yes.
One day I'm gonna be at the Red Feather premiere and we're gonna play back this audio because
Right.
I'm not really sure how it's gonna happen, but I know that's gonna happen. I know that's my space in Marvel.
Nice. Yeah.
I love to do that. I would love to be in Star Wars somewhere just because I like Star Wars. Like that one is even like less specific, but I'd love to be somebody. I'd love to wield a lightsaber. You know, I see the footage of like Ewan McGregor and Samuel L. Jackson with the look on their faces when they got their lightsabers. I was just like, I
yeah.
want that. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's just so cool.
Yeah.
These are like nerdy things that I want to do. Like, you know,
No, it's cool because
super nerdy.
I
things.
mean, it's funny because if you think about it, I guess the opposite of nerdy is like playing sports. But
is it though? I don't know.
right,
Like,
yeah, because sports themselves can get really nerdy.
Yeah.
But if you, in a way, there is way less of a chance that you'll one day be able to like be an actor in Star Wars and hold a lightsaber than like being in the NBA. Like being a starter in the starting lineup of an
yeah,
NBA game.
those things are both very hard.
Yeah, but I think it's even harder
yeah.
to be like a Jedi
I actually think it's harder to be in the NBA because there's actually like an age limit to that. Like sports actually have like a wear and tear with that, but the thing with acting is you don't really have that age thing.
Yeah.
Like you can,
If anything, you get better.
if I like am not in Star Wars by the time I'm 40, it's still open to me being like some random Jedi or Sith that no one ever knew about that they just made up. That's like 40 years old, and they would be like, they're like, you can't really do that with basketball. Like you can't end up like in the NBA at 40. Like
But I mean, I was thinking about it in the way that like, how many Jedis do you think are in like one film? Like do you like have an idea, like a rough estimate?
Oh, per film?
Yeah, per film.
I mean, it really goes to like, well, what do you mean, right? Because then there's like a whole bunch of Jedi like in the earlier ones
that's
as
true.
well. But if we're talking about like the later ones, there's like maybe 3 or something like that. But then you never know, like with this story, like what's going on. Because the later one, whatever, they're all extinct, but still you have Obi-Wan, you have Luke, and you have Yoda, like from 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty much what you have there. But then it like the possibilities are whatever, because then the new trilogy came out, and then you have Rey, you have Luke, which are like the only two, because they started with like the Last Jedi or whatever, and then there's kind of Finn, who's not really a Jedi, but he got to wield a lightsaber anyways. So like
Yeah, like that at the end of, I think it wasn't the Last Jedi, or was it, or Return of Skywalker?
Well, it was Force Awakens, then it was the Last Jedi, and then the Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, right. I think it was Return of the Jedi when that like I still don't know who that kid is.
Wait, did I say Return of the Jedi? Oh, you mean 6? Wait.
No,
are we?
I have to think. Second to last.
The Last Jedi, or
that is the Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah, where there
you
was
said Return of the Jedi. So
yeah. Whoa.
That's why I was like,
whoa.
That's like,
way
I
off.
was like, wait, what?
But there was that like.
That was me being like dorky again.
No,
I was like,
that's good. You definitely caught me.
It's the wrong one. Like
yeah, like the dyslexia just kicked in. But yeah, there was like that one kid who like kind of had the Force, and I still don't know who that kid is. Do you remember?
No, I forgot.
Okay.
I literally forgot.
Go watch the last minute.
I haven't. I have to look at that again.
Yeah, literally the last minute. You see like some kid like move something. With the Force.
Probably. I mean, there's a lot of Force sensitive people.
Yeah,
but it's just a matter of like training.
That's
them.
exactly. That's kind of like going back to what you said. It's like that could open up to like hundreds of Jedis.
Yeah, exactly.
In the future.
Like, it depends on where you want the story to go.
Right.
Like when I guess the first Star Wars, it was like what, Obi-Wan, Luke, and Yoda for like that original trilogy.
Right.
Then they went back and did 1, 2, 3, which was just like, okay, there's Jedi everywhere. Like, it's just like, and then it's the last one where they're trying to make it. So I don't know. You never know. And then there's all these like random spin-offs now.
Oh, right.
That's just like, oh, cool. Like Ahsoka, Rosario Dawson was pretty dope.
Yeah, I like that.
I was like, oh, cool. She's a real person now.
Right. Right.
So, you never know. Like it's just from wherever.
Yeah, they have pretty good. I mean, I don't want to call them cameos or whatever you call them, of these like actors and actresses that I would have never thought would have been part of a Star Wars thing. Like, like, once again, like Rosario Dawson or Bill Burr, who like it's funny because he makes fun of like us, the people that like comic books,
right?
But yet, like, he's in the shit, like, so
a job is a job.
Yeah, exactly. At the end of the day,
whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know what his situation is with like working, but whatever. A job is a job. So.
Right. Well, I mean, I feel like for any performer right now, it's kind of weird.
Yeah. Again, it's yes or no. Depends on where you are and what you're looking at.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, one example was that like he came out here to the East Coast and did like.
Excuse
me. He did like
I burped, but I wasn't sure if the mic picked it up.
That's cool.
So
I didn't hear it. Maybe they did, but I.
That's why I said. I was like, should I say something? Anyway,
you'll be all right. I already did it like twice, but yeah, he was doing shows like in out in fields, like like grass fields.
Yeah,
where you could just like not isolate people, but like keep people distant.
Did you see that one concert which was really cool? I think it was the Flaming Lips, where everyone had like a bubble suit.
Oh, I didn't know. No, I didn't see
Oh my
that.
gosh,
No,
that was like the coolest thing, and I was like, man, I want to like go to one of those. They had a concert
Yeah,
that
why
was all
can't
like
that
bubble
be everywhere?
suits.
Yeah, why can't that be everywhere? I don't see how that's not possible.
Well, one, I think it fits the aesthetic of the flaming lips. So I think,
okay.
like, if Metallica did that, I'd be
Right.
like, I'd be like, okay, I guess.
I mean,
like,
yeah.
But yeah, no, check this out. It's a pretty cool idea, and it definitely only works for some artists. Like,
Right.
and then there's also the question of like, well, do you pay for that bubble suit?
Yeah, that's what I'm
and
thinking
how much,
too.
like,
Oh shit.
yeah, how much like
That'd be a fun mosh pit.
do you keep the bubble suit?
Right,
Like,
I would
what's
want
going
to.
on?
I don't want to.
And can you use it for the next concert? Like, the
Right,
next concert you go
yeah.
to, like, I already have my own bubble suit.
Right.
It's fine. Like,
You gotta sanitize all of them.
yeah, like it's fine. I have my own suit. I'm just showing up.
That's still, I mean, I still appreciate shit like that because you're trying. Like, I don't see that many, like, I don't see New York City trying that much, like, other than virtual shit.
Mhm.
Like, I don't
Well,
know.
because it's like it's a lot of logistics
Yeah, it
that you
definitely
have
is.
to
I
worry
agree.
about. And like the Flaming Lips did that thing which was cool, but then it's like, is this really a viable option? I mean, you
Right.
see other countries doing like music festivals, but they have like these sections taped off where you're just like away from everybody.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So
stuff
there's
in
that.
UK.
I don't know.
Yeah, because I mean, I know, like, I'm not involved necessarily in the behind the scenes stuff, but and I'm not gonna mention names, but I've done virtual concerts for some places, and in my mind, I'm like, you're never gonna make your money back. Like, I hate
Yeah.
to say it, like,
Yeah.
but thanks for putting this on.
Yeah.
But
I think that's what it is. Hopefully, I hope that people do that just so they can provide an art for people to enjoy in
Yeah.
this time. Like, not many people really want to sit there and think about the pandemic all day long,
Yeah.
and quarantine and whatever, and when is it going to end and blah, blah, blah. So it's like, hopefully they have this art and they're putting it on to help people through this time, because that's kind of what people turn to when they need to.
Yeah,
They
that
turn to
especially-
something. They listen to music. Maybe they want to listen. Like, Pandora Live, they always did those live
Oh,
events,
right. Yeah,
which
yeah.
I would enjoy going to, and they were most of the time free, and you just kind of show up. I appreciate that they still continue doing Pandora Live like on YouTube, which
Right.
isn't exactly the same, but it's still kind of cool. I enjoyed like seeing MGK do his whole pop punk album live at the
Yeah.
Roxy, and then it's like, okay, cool, like, it's not a concert, I'm not like there, but at the same time it kind of is. It kind of gave me some new content to like be excited about.
Yeah, that's
like,
true. Yeah.
and like I watched it, I enjoyed it, and it was cool. It was like seeing a new Blink-182 concert because of Travis Barker. But,
Oh,
like,
that's right. Yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot that you work together.
Yeah,
That
it's
was
funny.
cool.
Actually, when I was like in the 8th grade or 7th grade, whenever I started playing music,
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like 2005, and Blink-182 had just broken up or whatever.
Right.
And I made this whole 5-year plan that I was like, yo, I'm going to get my music up and I'm going to be like good and famous, that by the time Blink-182 is getting back together, I can like make music with them
Yeah.
and tour with them and whatever. And this was my plan. And then, whatever, it works out harder than you think. And, I wasn't approaching my music in the I'll say like the best creative way, and I kind of fell off, but everything else that I said actually happened. Like 5 years later, they did get back
Yeah.
together, and I was like, oh shoot, like, maybe if I had pursued my music more, maybe I would be like touring with them or something like that. And then like, I would love to make a record with one of them, and now I see Travis Barker is just going off. He's just like, yo,
It's kinda
if he
everywhere, yeah.
likes you, he thinks you're cool, he'll just make music. Like a lot of things I've been seeing lately are just like artist featuring Travis Barker. Artist, I'm like,
Yeah.
dang, that could have
Yeah,
been
he
me.
is.
Like, I could have,
Right.
I could have made one song with him. That would have been dope.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, you still have a chance.
I do still have it. Exactly. Going back to my point, you
Yeah.
can't join the NBA 40 years old, but I can be 40 years old and still hit up Travis Barker.
All right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, he himself is like almost 50, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's not too. Well, I'm not that far in. If I'm Yeah, if I'm 40, he won't be too old. But I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty
If he,
sure.
I know if he's alive and willing, he'd be down.
Well, I know he takes a lot of care of his body. Like I know he's vegan.
He just released like a whole health and wellness brand.
Look
Did
at
you see that?
Yeah, I did. I
He
did remember
literally
that.
just released that like last week. I was like, I'm
Yeah.
interested just because I'm such a fan. It's so
Right,
bad.
yeah, and it's two things that yeah, both of those things you do. So
Yeah.
why not?
Exactly.
Like, you're into music, you're into being healthy. Like
Yeah.
why not? Like
I know. I was like, I'm into. I actually also just. I this might also be a reason why I'm so affected, but I listened to his biography.
Oh, shit, okay.
The Can I Say biography.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to read it for years. But I just decided to listen to it. I got it on audiobook, and listening to his story, like, I don't know, right? I was just, it's like kind of inspiring, and I don't know, it's made me renew my fanship in a different way. And I was just like, whoa, like he's been through some stuff and he's pretty cool. And like, understanding where he is with his like wellness and how he wants to be well and everything. And then even learning that he started doing like MMA and BJJ and
Oh,
stuff
that's
like
right,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, I was like, Travis, me too. I was like, I do some of
Yeah.
that stuff too, I don't know. I just think he's done like some cool stuff, and I don't know, dude. I guess your biography is supposed to paint you in the best possible light, but I think it's really cool. So yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't want to reveal my man crush to you right now in front of everybody, but you do look great. So
Thank you.
I guess,
Thank you.
I guess you're doing a good job as far as like staying consistent with your, I guess, regimen. Because I mean, when I did meet you, you were a lot puffier.
I was, yeah. You know what's funny about that? Producing this pilot has actually put like 15 pounds on me.
Oh shit!
And I
I
don't
don't see
and
it.
and it's funny because I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm gaining weight, and I was like, telling my friends and family and whatever, and I was like, wow, I'm gaining weight like producing this thing. Because it's funny, you talk about consistency. Producing this thing, like hard producing this thing, has thrown my schedule out of whack.
I understand, I
like
understand,
I have production meetings like every morning for like a few hours a day, and then it's just like, well, if I want to work out now, I have to wake up at like 5 or 6. But then it's like I'm working on these production meetings, and then I'm working on like, I'm working on stuff through the day. And then I also still do real estate because like, I have the crowdfunder up and everything. And yeah, I have investors. Doesn't mean they're like paying for the whole thing.
Right,
I
yeah.
still don't have money. So I still have to work.
Right.
And then it's like for all the dollars, all the thousands of dollars that I don't make up through the crowdfunder or through investors or whatever, that comes from me renting apartments.
Yeah,
like,
gotta get it from everywhere.
It's a real freaking hustle. And
Yeah.
fortunately, I'm so glad I'm in a place where I'm actually doing well in real estate and doing really great at my firm. But people at my firm, because not everyone has had the same experience that I have, they're asking me, they're like, how are you doing so well? And I'm like, honestly, the secret, like a bunch of my coworkers are like, what's your secret? I'm like, my secret is that I'm trying to fund a film. Like,
Right, yeah.
That's my secret. It's
Pretty
like
simple,
I'm
yeah.
hustling hard AF because I need money to put this freaking pilot together because it's
Yeah,
gonna make my
rightfully so.
life. Like,
Yeah.
So
It's your baby, man.
that's really, really what it is. So it's just like, I know at the end of this crowdfunder, I'm going to get whatever $1,000, and I'll probably post a video that's like, thank you so much for all this contribution. Now I'm going to come out here and hustle out a bunch more apartments for like the next
Right.
week because that's what I have to do. Like,
Yeah, gotta get every way.
and that's just what it is. So
What do you think? I mean, everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, what a New York biased thing to say." But why do you think us New Yorkers, like actual New Yorkers, why do you think we have that like hustler gene? Because, I mean, almost not all the people, because obviously not everybody was born and raised here that I bring on the podcast, but the people that were, like, that's something that I found in common, that like we never. We never really stop.
yeah.
Like,
I have a lot to say about that, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know if we talked about this last time, but there's a huge, huge hustle culture in New York.
Yeah.
And I think it's because New York is the place where you can make something happen. And it's like such an opportunistic city that there's opportunities everywhere, like left and right to do something.
That's
like,
true.
like there's so many different things you can do. There's so many different like like if you wanted to make a ridiculous like business, you could do it here. Like, you know, like I don't know, I could be the guy that wants to sell like things that make the corners of your table round.
Right, there you go.
And you'll probably prosper in New York easier than like somewhere else. And they're like, why did they need that in New York? And be like, I don't know. Didn't know they needed it, but you can hustle it out here.
Right.
And I think everyone that comes here and everyone that lives here understands that. Like I'm a really good friend, and I was helping, you know, every now and then when friends have problems in their relationships, talking about relationships, like I'll talk to my friends and I'll help them. And one of my friends in particular, she was like, oh my gosh, you know, you could save me. You could be like a relationship coach and you would save me like a lot of money. So I actually literally looked into that. I was like, how much do you make as like a relationship coach? And then it was just a thought that I was like, wow, I could hustle that and kill it at that too.
Yeah, that's very
But
true.
then it's like, you know, how many things are you going to hustle at? I think you just pick ones that work. I think that's the thing though. I think that's the danger, is you just find the hustles that work. I think try out as many of them as possible. But then the ones that you like best, just stick with them.
Right.
And then just do that and hustle it out for, I think what New Yorkers need to do is they need to know what their main through line goal is.
Right.
Like for me right now, it's making this pilot and creating my career and everything like that. So as long as all those hustles are supporting that, then I'm fine. Then I'm okay with it. Because you can totally get out of line with it. I used to do other things. I used to have other jobs like brand ambassador jobs. You can totally get lost in like, well, now I have to be here on call for this job, blah, blah, blah.
Right, that's a
But then you like you're not
right?
able to control your time as much, which is like hard. But I don't know. There's something here that I think everyone that lives here or comes here, they have this mentality of like, oh, I got to make it happen. Like, you just have to know what you're making happen. Like,
yeah, that's true, because you could succeed at all your hustles. You know, you can make money from them. But like you said, there eventually comes a point where you just don't have enough time in a day. So hopefully you're choosing to spend your time on what you're actually passionate about, you know?
Yeah. That's it. Just make sure you find time for yourself. And I think it's really easy. Like I know this because I did this when I first started hustling, especially when I first moved out of my parents' place. I was just like, well, everything's a hustle. I got to make all of this work. And I always did not have time for myself. And if you do that, then it's not worth it. You need to make the time for yourself. 100%. So if you ever do anything, do all the things, but make sure you leave aside time. I don't care if it's like an hour for yourself every week. That's really bad. You should have way more than that. But like, you know, you should have at least at the very minimum, I would say a day for yourself every.
Yeah, there you
every
go. That's
week.
a good way to put it.
At least.
Yeah, and it's funny because I always compare like a city like this and just pick a random city in the South that's not even that big. Like, let's go with like Chattanooga, Tennessee. I've never been there, but I've been to plenty of places in the South, and it's very like kind of the opposite of here.
Yeah,
everybody's like, you know, just relax.
It's fine.
Like,
yeah,
you know, everything's
There's no
fine.
rush.
Do you
Well,
really
because
have to go
that's the
anywhere?
thing with the opportunities in New York. There's so many opportunities that people are scared that if they don't jump on it, someone else is going to take it, and that's
it's kinda
absolutely
true.
right.
Yeah, because
like,
it's
you know,
true.
if you don't jump and make this thing, someone else is going to jump and make it, and then it's going to be like, shoot,
Right.
like, you know.
Yeah. That's like you said. This is the place where, you don't see it, but there is money to be made in, like in every block, every corner,
Yeah.
every building, every room, and I think that's why. I mean, your parents are immigrants, right? Mm-hmm. Like, so I'm pretty sure mine are too. So, I mean, almost everybody's parents are immigrants that live here.
Yeah.
Which is like what makes New York, New York. But I think that's even they knew, you know, that there's like there are chances here to make something happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like my I was living in Mexico like for a good amount of my youth, like from like 3 to 8, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother, like, even though it's obviously for any immigrant doesn't know that much English,
Right.
it's hard, but they're like, there's just shit you can't do in Mexico. Like,
Yeah.
there's just things that they do not offer. Like, I don't want to turn it to like dark and sad, but my uncle did die from COVID over there.
Oh,
And I think that's why, because they just
so sorry to hear. I didn't know that.
it's fine, don't worry, it happens.
Well,
But
I guess.
yeah, it's, you know, it's 2020, 2021.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's how life is now. But yeah, it's like, unfortunately, they just don't have like tests and all that stuff that like can actually take care of you. Like they couldn't even do a, what do you call it, like a autopsy to see what his actual cause of death was.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I assume they just have so many people in the hospital, so they're like,
everything is like
if you want and if you want an autopsy, you're gonna have to pay, pay up, buddy.
Right.
Or else here's your cremated son. It's
oh
like,
my God, yeah.
So yeah, it's like, going back to just New York being the land of opportunity. It's like, yeah, like it's there, and if you're not willing to take it, you're kind of gonna get kicked out. Unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hot, and it's like I think there's new meaning. I don't know if this is new meaning, but the city that never sleeps. I feel like it's just people that don't sleep on opportunities.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny that you say that because, like I'll wake up at 5 a.m. and then by 10 at night, I'm like, fuck, the day's already over. I still got more shit to do.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's like something I'm doing unconsciously, like subconsciously.
Yeah.
Like maybe that mindset was put in me like since I was a little kid from somewhere.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know. I really think it's the city. Like everyone in the city is like that.
Are you like a nocturnal person, by the way, or are you a morning person?
It's really yourself? Hard. I would love to be a morning person. I'm pretty happy when I wake up early and I get a lot of stuff done. I'm so happy. But then I'm also super productive between like 10 and 3 o'clock for some reason.
Okay.
So it's kind of hard. I'm trying to figure that out myself. I would love to get to sleep earlier and do things early. So I don't know. I consider myself a morning person and a night person. It's weird.
All right. I feel a little better hearing that because, yeah, I also try really hard to be a morning person. But I feel like my nature is just like doesn't want me to do that. Because like you said, between like 10 and 3, it's like...
Well, you know what it is as well? This is also tying back into like connection and like energy and stuff like that.
Right.
Around the hours between like 10 and 3, that's a lot of the time when people are kind of resting and going to bed or whatever. So it's weird. If you think about life force or, your focus as like Wi-Fi, right? The more things that are connected to Wi-Fi, it's kind of hard. You could kind of get like a weird signal. But why are you able to focus more at like, say 1 to 3? Some people could call BS on this, which is fine. It's just a theory. I don't know. But like, the less people that are up, you have more focus to like do what you do around those hours. So it's arguably like a focus time. There's also the thing of like sleep schedule. Maybe you're just used to being up at that time, but it's hard. Like I really like doing things early in the morning, but I also like doing things like 1 to 3 o'clock in the morning. So
yeah. All right. That makes me, like I said, feel a lot better. But I don't think it's bullshit at all. Cause I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. Clearly, I'm not the only one. You kind of just, attested to that. But yeah, it's like I also don't know what it is. Like if it's like a Earth thing or a planetary. Like I don't want to get too cosmical in it.
Yeah.
But
Mercury is out of retrograde.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
I think this last week. I don't know.
Yeah, and it's,
I don't really follow that, but I think I read it.
Yeah. I think Mercury is in Gemini or something. I don't know either. I can't keep up. But yeah, I mean, I also think the creative types are naturally like, because this is kind of like what came first, the chicken or the egg kind of thing. I'm just wondering, like, are creative people nocturnal because they're creative, or because they're nocturnal you become creative?
Yeah.
It's like I'm just kind of trying to answer my own life questions.
I don't have the answer for that. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Does anybody?
I'm not sure. Yeah, it's tough. It's a thing. I don't know. I think whatever works for you. Like there are certain things that I need to be up for in the morning, which is why I even want to do things earlier. I think if I could have it my way, and if it could be like healthy, I think it'd be great. Maybe if my day started at like 1 o'clock in the morning and it ran all the way through till like 7 p.m. But that doesn't really fit in with what the rest of the world is doing. I guess. Like, you know?
Yeah, that's really what you're trying to do.
Like, I'm sure it would be cool until, like, you know, my friends are like, oh, we're going to dinner at 7:30. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm going to sleep.
Yeah.
Like,
you know, that's unfortunately that I think that me sometimes being in that backfired because speaking of Blink 182, my sister invited me to the concert when they were in Barclays Center with Lil Wayne.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, she had a free ticket.
Yeah.
And my ass was sleeping at, like, I took a nap. It was like 6
Oh, no.
p.m., so I missed it.
How? I would have been too excited.
No, like, yeah, that's the thing. Like, if I would have seen it, I would have been like, fuck sleep. I'm there right now.
Oh, she didn't tell you till?
No, she, like, called me and texted me.
But
like,
you were asleep.
Yeah, but I was asleep. And,
Shit.
like, by the time I woke up, I saw the text, and then it's late. It's too late. So I was like, shit.
The concerts when this is done are going to be crazy because
Yeah,
I
I
think
think so, too.
everyone is like, I don't care if I like an artist a little bit, I think I'm going because it's just like I just want to do something like that, you know?
Yeah, but like you said, maybe the prices are gonna definitely go up.
I mean, I think at the 35% rate, it's got it because how, you know,
Yeah.
if you only have 35% capacity at your venue, how are you paying for everything? I don't know.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder.
People will still pay for it though.
Yeah, I mean, there's still somehow they still have money like there somehow because
Well, there's a lot of people that didn't lose their jobs.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, there's a lot of people that are just working from home fine.
Right.
Like, you know, nothing happened to them. And these are probably like, you know, I don't mean this to be insulting, but it's the same people that like paid for the Fire Festival. Like, you know, like they're just good. They're
right.
just fine because, you know, looking at the prices of the Fire Festival, it's like, who can afford that?
Yeah,
but
that was kinda
so many
crazy,
people
right?
were like, yep, I'm on board. Like, you know, if I was in that same financial position, sure, like I would be, but like I'm like, dude, $3,000 for like a ticket to this, that's like,
right.
I don't know, maybe I'm just like really small-minded right now, and 2 years from now I'm gonna be like
Right.
throwing it away. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, I was
Like,
gonna say
and be like, oh, $3,000, sure,
it's whatever.
Like, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, what I mean is like venues. Well, I mean, I'm just mainly thinking sports, honestly, because
But they started putting people there too. Like
Yeah.
there was a bunch of random people at the Super Bowl.
right.
I was like, how? Like they didn't
it
look
is Florida too. So.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
I was like, they didn't look socially distanced or anything. I was like, okay, I
Right,
guess.
especially Tampa. Yeah.
You know? But yeah, I guess it is Florida, whatever. But
Right. But when everybody was forced to be inside, I was just wondering like how could these venues and these teams still pay their athletes millions of dollars?
Yeah.
But, like other than advertising, what's like, bringing the money in to pay them? You know?
you know, I never thought about this, but I wonder if advertising actually started putting in more money now that more people are home to like
To
look at
see the
advertising.
advertisements, yeah.
I don't know. I didn't think about how that affected that market.
I mean,
But
you see how big advertising is, especially from working at eWorks.
yeah.
It's like advertising is the thing now. Like it's just it's the thing. Like you can't escape advertising
No.
at all.
Because it works.
Yeah, and I think that's something that's gonna stay forever. Like we're gonna have when we get like chips in our head or whatever, then we can like see computers in our eyes.
Yeah.
Like we'll probably get advertisements there.
If that's a thing, I can't do it. Like
Right.
I really can't.
Yeah,
I
I
can't
mean-
be that intrusive with it.
Yeah, I mean, people already advertise like put advertisements on themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
Literally.
Literally.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a crazy world. And speaking
Yeah,
of
well,
advertisements,
yeah.
nah, I'm not gonna do that here in the middle. Okay, so speaking of advertisements,
We've got our sponsor
Yeah.
here.
I'll do that later when people are not interested in listening to you anymore. But nah, it's cool. Just give me a sec. You know what, Chris? Hate to cut it short, but get out of here.
Wow. Okay.
Leave. No, but no, actually, now you actually give me a lot of more appreciation.
just tell people.
All right, folks. We've been talking for like 5 minutes to
Yeah.
nobody other than just ourselves. But we were just briefly saying, well, I was thanking Chris for coming because clearly you spent a lot of time doing just putting together the film.
Yeah.
And we were just telling you guys how I forgot how we even got into recording music, but we're gonna record some music for it.
Yeah, I think because you said this is kind of what you've been doing in the time.
Oh, right, the podcast instead of putting music out there. But if you are $100 contributor to the crowdfunder,
yes,
we will write a song for you.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so far we got like an album's worth almost.
It's an album's worth.
Yeah.
I might have to go double disc on this.
Nice. There you go. You got a soundtrack already.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, once again, sorry for all the time we didn't put into recording.
Yep.
So before that happens again, we're just gonna have to go. Sorry for the premature ending, but it has been like 2 hours and 40 minutes. So, or nice. 1 hour. Sorry. So yeah, anything else you wanna let them know before we head out?
I think that's it. My name is Chris Paul Morales. Thank you for taking the time to listen. If you've gotten this far, thank you so much. You can find me on the internet. Just type in Chris Paul Morales and my social media will come up, and any information on me on the internet will come up. Whether I want you to see that information or not, it'll come up. So I'll see you there, and feel free to reach out to me anytime. If you have any questions, you want to know more about the pilot, let me know.
Yeah, I've been posting some links, and I'll post them all now. I know Fuggboi Dave has his own Instagram page.
In the show notes.
And yes, there you go. Yeah. That's what they are called. I've been remembering to call them that.
Yeah.
In the show notes. And yeah, definitely go check out the Instagram page if you're too lazy to type indigo dot. I don't remember the whole URL.
igg.me/@/Fuggboi Dave. That's FUGGBOIDAVE.
Right.
I should have made it just Fuggboi, but it's too late already.
No, it's cool. I mean, to me that sounds better. Not just because it's my name in there, but it's like Fuggboi is just like, okay, what? And then it's like Fuggboi Dave is like, oh, this is somebody.
Yep.
I guess. I mean, that's just my way of thinking. But I'm like, I guess there's a story behind this.
Yeah.
Let's find out. But yeah, thanks again, Chris.
Anytime. Thank you for having me.
Definitely come back once you got your baby.
Yeah, in 17 days.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
17 days from
Oh, that's right. Yeah, later this month.
I have to come back every 17. No,
every
17 episodes.
Yeah.
All right, it's not necessarily days. 17 episodes.
Right, but at the end of this month, I guess it's go time, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. I mean, it's been go time.
Well, yeah. But for everybody else. Yeah, it's hard to say because it really is go time for you all the time.
Yeah,
which is, I mean, that's the perks of being a producer, I guess.
Yeah, I guess you can call it a perk.
Yeah. Hey, but luckily you're doing stuff, and let's definitely support this because, like I said, Paramount and Warner are not the only people that make content. There's a lot of shit out there that's good quality. So. I'm expecting a lot.
Yeah, good. I want to deliver.
All right. Thanks for listening. If you're still listening, once again, sorry for the slight technical difficulties, but appreciate everybody that listens. Definitely go follow Chris. I don't know what else to say other than thanks once again, and peace.
Talk to you later.
You wanna live, but for you it's just too late. Have you ever felt like you won a race, but in the end you came out last? Well, that's how I feel every day. Have you ever felt so alone, but no one came to save you? What you thought was bad, but no one saw how sad you were when you sat all alone. Well, that's how I feel every day. Every day I feel there's someone better. Every noon I'm told that I'm wrong. Every day I feel there's someone stronger. Every night I sing the same song. should try your best. Do you ever feel outcasted from the rest? I always think that I could do better. I like to pretend I'm not alone. Better. Every noon I'm told that I'm wrong. Every day I feel there's someone stronger. Every night I sing the same song.
All right, that was Every Day by Chris Pomrales. You are listening to ABCDKTU. I'm joking, this is not a radio station. We don't allow that stuff here. Well, thank you for listening and hanging in there. This is definitely hour 2 by now. Hour 2 or third hour in a way, and the 5th minute. But yeah, I definitely appreciate everybody that makes it this long and doesn't get annoyed. Congratulations, you are a lot better than most of the population in this world who can't, have an attention span longer than 2 minutes. So congrats. Congrats for being better than everybody else. Just joking. But yeah, thank you. I really appreciate everybody that does listen, even if it is for just 5 minutes. Just go follow, go give me a follow. Go give me a number, add to the numbers. Cause I am trying to, I would like to make money off of this just so that I can improve the podcast. Who wouldn't like to be rich off of, just having fun? But, I just, like, the money that I do get is getting put back into this. So, any help would be appreciated. And you do help by listening because, these advertisers and these, people who are willing to give you money for your podcast, they'd like to see the numbers. So just give me numbers. Just click on the shit. And that's it. You don't even have to, you don't even have to watch the whole thing. Just give me the click. Just give me the view, whatever. And I'll really appreciate it. But in reality, anything that you would like to donate and, use as a tax write-off is gladly welcomed, It's not like, it's not like it's only about me. It's really about you guys. You guys are the ones that consume this stuff. And if there is anything you would like, any ideas, any questions, anything you'd like to discuss, always just message us. Don't be scared. We're trying to be interactive. And if you didn't know, by the way, go follow me on d.mha0r, because since I have more followers there than the podcast page, I go live. If you want to see, what the podcast is in a live setting, basically the same shit you see on the final product. I don't do many changes. I like to keep it real. And so far, I don't know if keeping it real has gone wrong. I know in life it has, but I don't know about the podcast life so far. So far, it's okay, right? And if not, tell me. I think it's worse if you keep it to yourself rather than telling me. Anything else I should say? Okay, let me not forget Miles Together. Let me shout them out. My good friends at Miles Together. Father Giancarlo Osorio, who's been here twice already. He has a clinic over in Forest Hills. Go to mytogetherpc.net to find out the exact address because I forgot. I think it's like 72nd Road or some shit. And yeah, definitely go check it out. It's mental health clinic, and like I always say, you don't have to be crazy because first of all, everybody's crazy. If you live in New York City and you're like normal, you're not. You're not. Sorry. sorry to break it to you, but just because you are in this city, you're automatically not normal. You're automatically a weirdo who wants to live in a box that is surrounded by like 6 other boxes around him or her. You guys know what I mean? They call them apartments, but that's what they really are. They're just boxes. Um, and I don't want to get into this conversation is about Minds Together, not New York City. But yeah, definitely go to mindstogetherpc.net. They also have an Instagram page now, and Facebook and all that good stuff. Minds Together _PC. Oh, sorry. I think I'm getting hungry or some shit because I'm getting sleepy and it's the middle of the day. So I don't think I've eaten like solid food today. Like I tried a handful of walnuts and made myself a fruit smoothie in the morning. It is it's like the middle of the day. Actually, it's lunchtime. Motherfuckers gotta eat lunch, man. Nutritious and stuff. So, mindstogetherpc.net. Check it out. Anything else, guys, before I leave this super long episode? In case you didn't notice, yes, I am splitting this up into 2 episodes, but the video version is just one. So enjoy. I don't want to tell you what to do, so just do you. And thanks for listening. Thanks for following. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all the support. Love you guys and take care.